Do you watch the credits when you've finished watching a film or TV show? Do you watch them? Or do you know what all those jobs are? Or do you just like flip off and act like, nah, I don't care? I mean, yes, on one hand, the movie or the TV show doesn't get made if the writer doesn't write it, if no one's there to write it. That's true. At the same time, it doesn't get made if all those other people also aren't working on the project. You are one part of a whole. You're not the whole. You're a part of the whole. And I get so frustrated when I hear other people give advice to new writers of, you know what, just write the script. Don't worry about the audience. Don't worry about the directors and the actors and all these other people. You just write a good story. And on one hand, yes, you should write a good story. But if you're not aware and thinking about all the other people that are going to be working on this project, you are going to have a hard time finding success. You're going to have a hard time figuring out how to tell a great story in the medium of a screenplay, because all these other people are using your screenplay as a blueprint to do their job. So if you aren't doing your job to help them do their job better, it's going to make it more difficult for you to find success as a screenwriter. And so I just want to talk about this a little bit today. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you find value, subscribe if you haven't done that. Be sure to check out links below. Let's not waste any more time. Let's jump in. You are a tooth on the cog of the movie making machine. Okay, you're just one piece of the whole that's needed. An important piece, yes, because that's absolutely true that if there's no story written, there's probably not going to be a story shot. So that's absolutely true. The problem is if you start thinking like, oh, I don't need to worry about the producers. Oh, I don't need to worry about directors. Oh, I don't need to worry about actors. I just need to write this thing. You're going to be in trouble. And I want to pull this apart. If you want to write a movie, here's a question. Do you even know what all the jobs are? More importantly, do you even know how a movie gets made? Like, what happens? What's the process? What are the steps that people go through to actually make the movie? And if you don't know how it gets made, you're going to have a problem writing a script that's good enough to get made. So in some ways, you have to be a student of filmmaking, not just of screenwriting. This doesn't mean you have to be an expert in everything. You don't need to know all the stuff that a DP knows, for sure. Because a DP, director of photography, is spending as much time learning their craft as you are trying to learn yours. All these people are working trying to learn their individual crafts, and they all come together to collaborate to make this great thing. You don't have to understand all the nuances of how everybody does their job, but you do have to have a basic understanding of what people do, because it's going to help you tell better stories. One thing that can help is to start trying to think like someone who's in one of the key roles in a film. Now here's the key roles: a producer, a director, the director of photography or DP, production designer, and the editor. Those are pretty much the roles that get hired almost out of the gate at the beginning when a film is going to start going into production. So yes, pre-production, you're going to hire a production designer, you hire a DP, you may not hire an editor yet, but they definitely come in the pre-production stage. And you're like, well, the editor's at the end. Yeah, but the editor's working with the DP and production designer to make sure that all the camera tests, that everything's going to look like they want it to look, that the colors look right, all that kind of stuff. They do that well at the beginning before they even call actors onto the set. So these are the main people. The other person to mention is the lead actor. Now, sometimes you have a really big, popular named lead actor that's coming in and they have a lot of clout, and sometimes they have a producer credit, which means they get a little bit more say in how the film goes. And as a writer, you should be not your first, second, third draft. Maybe once you're starting close to the end, start trying to think a little bit like some of these people. How's a director going to read this script? How's a producer going to read this script? How's an actor going to read the script? Is this role going to be something that an actor would actually want to play? Or is this a character that we've seen 10 million times? I mean, maybe that's a question you actually ask before you start writing a thing. Like, think through what are the questions these people are going to have to make the film. It's not just about the script. The script's important, but it's not just about the script. It requires all these other people to make the thing. It's a collaborative event of which you are one piece, and you have to have respect and think about, what are other people doing? How are other people going to do their job based on what I've written? Is there some way I can write this to help them do their job even better? And if you can start to figure that out, all of a sudden your script just jumps up a whole other level. Because I guarantee you, people who are selling their scripts are thinking about that. They know how the production process works. They know what a first AD does. They know what a best boy or best girl does. They understand what a gaffer is. They get it. So you have to start to understand, what is this whole filmmaking process, and you want to start to study it. And that's really the next tip I want to give you, is study them. Study the roles. Just like you're trying to learn screenwriting, do some cursory research to just kind of understand, how does the filmmaking process work? What does a director do? What does a DP do? What does a production designer do? What does a producer do? Learn some of these basic things. Then you'll start to know, here's some of the questions that they might have. Here's the things that they might be asking, and that will help you learn to tell a better story. Now, if you aren't trying to learn these things, I might say that you are either A, handicapping yourself big time out of the gate, or B, not really serious about the craft. You can say like, oh, I'm serious about the craft. I write every day. I do all that stuff. Yeah, but do you understand the filmmaking process? It's not just you. You're one tooth in the machine, right? Of the cog of the machine. So you have to understand that you are just a part of it. And if you don't understand the full thing, you're going to have a harder time. Be a student of filmmaking, not just of screenwriting. Screenwriting is important, and it's a craft. And if you're trying to get good at the craft, man, you got to dive deep. You got to learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. But you also have to understand and be respectful of the fact that everybody else you are collaborating with is doing the same thing for their individual field. And it takes all of these people coming together to tell an excellent story for the screen. So yes, write a great story, learn the craft of screenwriting, 100%. But you also have to have at least a basic knowledge of filmmaking. What is it? What do people do? And if you can do that, your writing is going to just automatically start to jump up a whole other level. Hopefully this is helpful. I hope it's encouraging. Watch credits, learn what people do, all that stuff. It's gonna make you a better storyteller. So thank you for watching. If you found value, please be sure to like, subscribe, bell, all that stuff. Again, thank you, I appreciate it. Be sure to check out links below. And when you go to tell a story that matters. See you later.